and it is the start of a pretty exciting week for me. I have officially left the intensive care unit to plan my week. Alright, I'm going to do my skincare while I'm at it. Is there anything else for me? 2022.
Pretty good guess.
I brought myself a deodorant. I've been wanting to get these, but then normally you have to buy it online, and I saw it in the supermarket and I was like, it's refillable.
Probably paying refillable prices too.
It's more than a normal deodorant, yes.
It's not $2 for a roll-on.
The refill's not much. The refill's cheap.
It was $20, was it?
Slightly less.
Slightly less.
Mince with rice and like a tomatoey kind of base situation. I've also got chicken with satay, and then I've also got my stir fry stuff. So that'll be a decent amount of meals. And then for lunch, I have this chicken stuff, which is 4 servings.
Do you get allocated lunches or what?
What does allocated lunches mean?
Like you don't get disturbed or you don't miss your lunch break?
I hope so. But I don't really know.
I'll be talking more in depth about this in just a minute here. And then as discussed, and especially the left ventricle and systole to overcome these pressures. Just at a much slower speed than the high-speed bundles and the fascicles do. Alright, so that's the physical makeup.
Hello and welcome back to another weekly vlog. My name is Jess if you're new here. It is Monday today and it is the start of a pretty exciting week for me. I have officially left the intensive care unit. For those who don't know, I am a nurse, and for the last almost 9 years I have worked in critical care in different hospitals across New Zealand and Australia, and I finally made the decision to leave, which was huge for me. Being an intensive care nurse has definitely become part of my identity, and so it's going to be a very difficult and kind of interesting transition for me. However, I know it's the right choice, and I've been craving it now for a few years. The just intensity and stress of working in intensive care is a lot, and I feel like I've become aware of that in the last few years. I just want to live a more normal life and prioritize my life outside of work. Normally when working in intensive care, I'd be doing 12-hour shifts. I'd leave home at 5:30 in the morning and not get back until after 8. The days that I worked, that is all I would do. And I always justified it to myself by saying that I got more days off. However, those days off I was exhausted, and yet I was constantly trying to keep myself busy and run around and do all the things that I wasn't able to do while I was working. So it just ended up with me being stressed on both ends, trying to fit my personal life and goals in on my days off, and then just having very full-on days at work. And it was a lot on the body and the mind. Anyway, I am moving into a role that still uses a lot of the clinical skills that I've picked up in ICU, but, and I hope, has a slightly lower stress level, more sustainable days. I'll only be doing 8-hour shifts instead of 12s. And I am very excited for this next step in my career. It's a role that I can work quite autonomously in, and I have a lot of freedom in terms of the decisions I make and the times I do things, and it's going to be a very nice change from working in an ICU that does just have to be very structured in order to keep things running smoothly. Anyway, as I said, it's Monday, and I am going to be working 4 or 5 days this week. I'm still unsure about one of my shifts, but essentially an average week for me will be 4 8-hour shifts, either mornings or evenings, and then on the weeks that I do night shifts, I believe they're 10-hour shifts. But definitely less nights than what I've been doing the majority of my career. Now those 4 8-hour shifts start tomorrow. So I've got day 1 of my new job tomorrow, which is slightly terrifying and slightly exciting. Anyway, I'm using today to prepare for all of that. I've been doing a little bit of study, just refreshing my knowledge, because in intensive care, there are doctors there 24/7 that you can just wave something under their eyes and be like, look at this for me. I'm not going to have that as readily available in my new role. So I just want to make sure I'm keeping on advancing my clinical skills, particularly those assessment skills, so I can pick up on the more technical things that just take a little more skill to identify. Enough about the actual job, because that's not very exciting. Also, the Coke Zero Sugars have different countries on them at the moment. It's because of the FIFA World Cup, my husband tells me. And this one is New Zealand, which is very fitting because I am a Kiwi, if you haven't already picked up on that by the accent. I have already done the grocery shopping for this week. So all my meals are planned. I do still have to prep my lunch and breakfast for tomorrow and the next few days, which I'll be doing in a bit. But first off, I'm going to actually plan my week and how much easier it's going to be to fit my workouts in. I'm not going to have to do double days every single day off, you know? That'll be nice. Very nice. Okay, so I'm trying to decide how to organize this, because essentially I can have one double day and a full day off, or I can just do one workout every day. I think the full day off is probably more important. I don't know. Maybe I'll just see how I'm feeling, because it'll be on the Saturday. Anyway, my plan today, on the Monday, will be going for a run. Then on the Tuesday, after work, because it's an early shift, I will go to the gym. On Wednesday, another early shift, another gym session. Thursday, I'm going to break up the gym sessions, and after work, I'm going to go for a run. Friday, after work, I'm going for another gym session. And then on Saturday, I'm going to go to the gym in the morning. And then potentially I'll go for a run in the afternoon on Saturday, or I'll do the run on Sunday. I'm just going to see what I'm vibing. I potentially may have an afternoon shift on the Sunday. We will see. So that'll be how I'm going to fit my workouts in around my work schedule. And I cannot tell you how refreshing it is to be able to actually work out on the days that I'm working. It's really nice. Because normally I'd have at least 3 days of the week where I just can't do anything. And then everything just gets very, very crammed. So I'm quite excited by that schedule. Anyway, that is that ticked off my to-do list. I've already done the washing and the grocery shopping like I mentioned. Now I'm going to organise my work bag, because it's got a whole bunch of paperwork and bits and bobs that I'm not going to be needing in this new job, and it's all ICU related. So I'm going to organise it and make sure it's all fresh and ready for this new job. Then I need to, do I want to do my meal prep now? Maybe not. I need to meal prep some chicken for my lunches. I need to cook it. And then I also buy like the big containers of chicken, buy it in bulks, that way it's cheaper. And then I separate it out into little bags. So that way I can just grab what I need on the day. So I need to do that at some point tonight as well. Keeping in mind it's now almost 3:30 and I want to go for my run around about 4. So I think I'll save the meal prepping until after my run, and I'll just do it at the same time as I'm cooking dinner. I think that's the best option. For now, let's clean out my work bag and prep everything for a new week, a new start. Alright, I got this bag honestly a long time ago, like, let's say like 6 years ago. Fin case, I don't know. I got it off Iconic, I think. I would eventually like to get a new work bag. This one is not very exciting. However, it does the job. And it has a real nice kind of like padded laptop sleeve, which honestly I don't bring my laptop to work because I'm a nurse and that's generally not needed. But it does hold a lot of paperwork, which I do sometimes need. So I'm going to put the paperwork that I need for my new job in here. Safe in this little case. I also have a Kobo, which I like to use on my breaks, etc. It's nice to just be able to step away from the work environment while on your break and just, take your mind off things. So this one's going to go in here as well. Then my little front pocket I like to keep stashed with essentials. Firstly, sunglasses, which may seem a bit weird, but it's more for the journeys to and from work. Just having some sunnies in there is quite useful. That way I don't have to remember to pack them every single day. Especially because I'm now going to be able to get home before it's dark. In winter, when doing 12-hour shifts, I would leave home when it's dark, get back when it's dark, and it'll be nice to not be doing that anymore. A whiteboard marker. I don't think I need that. A highlighter. That could be useful. Plasters. Plasters are always useful. However, do I need this many? No, I do not. I'm going to pack some plasters because you never know. Panadol, that's important. Although they're not my favourite. These Panadol are my favourite. So much easier to swallow. A scrunchie, it's always a good thing to have, and then a couple of smaller ponytails because I often braid my hair and use the smaller ones, so. An extra pen, you never know when you might need an extra pen. A handful of tampons because again, good to have. Hand cream. I wash my hands a lot at work, so that is nice if they're ever feeling dry. And then finally, I do pack my little headphones and keys, but I need them for my run, so. That is all decluttered, which is amazing. I do also always pack my umbrella because you never know when you might need that. I almost completely forgot. My stethoscope will be coming to work with me from now on. That'll be going in here. I will, of course, also be packing my lunch before work tomorrow, so. Alright, I'm all dressed, ready for my run. Today is going to be an interval session. Only 5 kilometers, which is very nice. It is 1 kilometer warm up, 90 seconds walking rest. And then this next part I repeat 2 times, so 1.2 kilometers at a 6 minute per kilometer pace, 120 seconds walking rest, 400 meters at a 540 minute per kilometer pace, 60 seconds walking rest. Do that 2 times. And then I've got an 800 meter cool down. Doesn't sound terrible. The thing I struggle with when it comes to this is where to split it in half. Because the walking periods completely change the distance, and because I'm doing an out and back, it's really hard to know. I think once I get past the first lot of intervals, before the walking rest, I'll turn around. Might still have an extra couple of 100 meters to go, but I like a little bit of a walking cool down anyway, so that should be fine. Okay, let's do it. It's getting pretty cold actually. I'm feeling a bit chilly, which is nice, definitely, compared to what it's normally like in Australia, but it does make it harder to get out the door in the first place, so. Run's done. That actually felt pretty good. There were definitely tough spots, but we got it done and I'm pretty happy with it. So in total, with the walking periods, it was 5.67 kilometers with an average pace of 6:56 minutes per kilometer. I don't pause it during my walking periods. And I normally run my warm-up at around a 7 minute per kilometer pace. So you can see how I got those numbers. But I did hit most of my targets, which was fantastic. My fastest pace throughout that whole run was 4:47. When did I do that? Because that is not something that I would have done without realizing. My total walking time was 8 minutes. My total run time was 31 minutes. And my average heart rate was a nice happy 142, which is perfect. My max heart rate was 173. I'm going to try and start putting my running stats up on my videos. I stopped doing it for a long time because I'm just not as fast of a runner as I once was, and to be honest, I was slightly embarrassed by it. But I've decided, fuck it. I watch a few people on YouTube who are not fast runners, and I love their content, and they always share how fast they run. So maybe it'll help other people who also feel like they are slow. On that note, it is time for a bit of a pamper session. I'm going to have a shower and wash this hair of mine because it is truly disgusting. And I've got my first day at my new job tomorrow, and I just want to feel fresh and confident and, good. I want to feel good for my first day of my new job. So we're going to go do that now. And then tonight I'm also going to tint my eyebrows because that also makes me feel good. And I need to cook dinner and I need to prep my chicken for my lunches. So for my lunches, I'm going to be having chicken rice salad. So really it's just the chicken that I need to cook, which is easy enough done. I can do it at the same time as I'm cooking myself dinner. It is freezing, however. I need to jump in the shower. Alright, shower's done. I'm going to put my Kerastase heat protectant in. Alright, I'm going to do my skincare while I'm at it. I use the Medicate Retinol. And then I'm going to go in with my my moisturiser. This is just a Cetaphil moisturiser. I do still need to tint my eyebrows, but it's getting late and I am getting hungry. So we're going to make dinner and prep our lunch first. Alright, I have grabbed my dressing gown because I was a bit chilly. Alright, so I've got extra lean beef mince for dinner. This will be, I think, 2 servings. 2, 3. So pretty decent. And I'll have the leftovers tomorrow night. And then I've got this Woolworths barbecue Australian chicken breast with sweet soy. I love pre-marinated chicken because you don't have to add any flavours to it. It's already done. And I'm not a fan of plain chicken. And actually for both of those meals I'll be using microwavable rice. For lunch I use the little pots. For dinner I normally get one of these and just divide it into 2 separate containers. Alright, while that meat is cooking, I'm going to prep the salad for my lunch tomorrow. I have a little salad container that I put it all into, and it has a nice separation area for your chicken and the sauce and the salad at the bottom. Okay, so that's the salad part done. Right, my food is all prepped. I've got lunch, chicken salad with a jasmine rice cup, which I will take with me. And then I've got my breakfast, which is going to be a granola bowl with some fruit. I will add the yogurt to this in the morning. Dinner, a nice little minced rice veggie bowl. And I also have another 2 days of mince and another 3 days of chicken for the rest of the week. I've got my Dr. Hydrate here. It is the green apple flavour. Got a bunch of electrolytes, which is always nice, but mostly I just love the flavour. Alrighty, it's eyebrow time. Just going to get my hair out of the way so I don't accidentally dye it. It's an attractive look. Alright, I just take a lid and I mix the dye. Use a little spoolie. And then I just place it on my eyebrows. I do need to look in the mirror for this part, so. Now that I've got them all filled in, I like to go over kind of around the edges and just clean them up with a damp Q-tip. Much better. I'm going to leave this on for about 7 minutes and then I'll take it off. Alright, time to take it off. Alright, and this is the final result. I find the dye continues to develop for like the next 12 hours or so. So when I wake up, it'll be that little bit darker. Anyway, it is now 8:15. I'm going to get myself ready for bed because I want a good night's sleep before work tomorrow. See ya. Good morning.
Free flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave.
Hello. Alright, it is now 4:30. My first shift at my new job is done and dusted. It was just a supernumerary day today, so I was working with somebody else in the same role. Really just watching what the routine is and how they go about everything. A lot of just getting used to different kind of computer systems and that side of things. So nothing too exciting happening today, but it is very nice to be home at this time. Normally I'd be getting home about 4 hours later than this, so it's very refreshing. And I most definitely do not have the same stress levels as I do in ICU. So I feel very calm, despite it being my first day. Nothing too challenging happened. Anyway, I'm going to take the evening just to relax. I was supposed to be going to the gym this afternoon. However, it is pouring down and my husband has the car and I refuse to get caught in the rain again. I already got caught in the rain on my way home and I don't want to do that again. So
how they're feeling, whether they're bloated. People live most with my clients, whether that's weight loss, whether that's health, because your health matters.
Alright, heated up my dinner, my leftovers from last night. I eat these and I'm gonna chill. I want to do a reread of When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker because her other book is out and I've got it on hold from the library, and when it becomes available I would like to read it, but I can't really remember the storyline. I remember loving it, but it's just a very distant memory, so I'm going to do a quick reread of that. So I might do a bit of reading tonight. I'm going to eat because I am rather hungry. So the one thing about this job is there isn't really proper protected breaks. Like, I suppose technically there is, like somebody else could cover for you, but like you don't have somebody filling in your role while you go on breaks. You just kind of disappear for a bit and come back, which is okay because I don't have like a certain patient load that I have to be with all the time, you know. There are other nurses taking care of these patients and I just go in and kind of add my 2 cents and then go back to the office. So like it's perfectly fine. I'm just not used to it. Like I'm not used to just being able to walk away from the job for like half an hour and have nobody doing what I was doing before, especially from an ICU point of view. So that's a bit strange. And then also you just take your breaks whenever you want. In ICU it's very structured, like you have to go for your break at this time because that's when somebody can cover you, or you're not getting one and you just make it happen. Whereas I find when I'm kind of choosing when I take my breaks, I'm very like, oh, just do this one more thing. Or, you know, like I don't really push it on myself as much as I should. It's all just very new, so it's going to take some practice.
I know you'll find a way. Live your truth and good will come to you.
Hi, it is now 4:30. Just got home from work and I have gotten dressed and I'm going to head to the gym. It's raining once again today and my husband has the car, so we're just going to hope that we do not get rained on. Alright, not gonna lie, I really didn't want to do that workout. The thought of going outside into the cold and the rain and the dark was not very appealing, but I got it done. And I'm very happy I did, so that's exciting. My husband just called me and told me that he's picking up pizza for us on the way home, so it's a nice little reward.
weekend. It is just
This could be an interesting change. Cheese is on there. Like it is chunky because the cheese makes it feel fucking gluggy.
rest day for me, but I am going to go to the gym because I'm going to do some kind of like mobility / maybe a little bit of an elliptical, which I'll explain a little bit later.
Not bad for a change.
Very environmentally.
Rises. That's why Labour's instant technology quickly locks in your flow.
Morning start with a Celsius. Waves or not, you go anyway.
Good morning. I slept over 9 hours last night. I honestly didn't feel that tired yesterday. Like, despite it being my first 2 days at a new job, like I didn't feel that exhausted. Like physically I was fine. Mentally I thought I was fine. But maybe actually all that new information did get to me because apparently I was tired. Anyway, feeling nice and refreshed. Still kind of waking up a little bit, but I'm going to have my cereal and I'm going to head to the gym. I'm doing an afternoon shift today, so I've got to be at work at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I have time to do a few things this morning, although it is almost 9 o'clock already, so not that much time, but that's okay. Alright, gym's done. Sorry I couldn't show you very much of that workout. It was quite busy, which is weird for this time in the morning, but it's done. It was a very speedy session because I had to get home, and now I have about half an hour until I have to leave for work, so I need to jump in the shower, have something to eat, and get going. Alright, I'm off. See you guys when I get home. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is now 20 past 8 in the morning. I did get up at 8 o'clock and then I've been taking my progress photos for my coach, which I send in every Friday. So I need to organize my little check-in and send that through. And I'm going to do that while I'm eating my little cereal. And then we're going to head to the gym. Alright, I'm ready for work, except for my hair, of course. I've still got to tie it up. But I am just having a chicken rice bowl with some sweet chili, and I've got my little protein shake for after the gym. I'm going to take my supplements and read my book for about 20 minutes. Despite how many days I'm doing, I just feel calmer, I suppose. Even though it's a new job, so the fact that I'm feeling calmer now, when it's my first week, I think is a pretty good sign. So, and being able to do stuff before or after work is also really nice. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Both my husband and I have the day off today, which is amazing. So I had a bit of a sleep in. It's now almost 9 o'clock. And we've just got a few errands to run. We're going to go to Freedom Furniture. We want to pick up a few little bits and pieces, just some small household items. And then go to the supermarket. Nothing too crazy this morning. I was going to go to the gym first thing, but my legs are quite sore still, so I've decided to skip that, and I'm going to go for a run tonight just to kind of shake out the legs. Anyway, let's get this day started.
Did you record it?
I recorded the aftermath. I missed the moment of me being like, oh, gonna juggle the glass.
Bloody doofus.
Hi. It is later in the evening, so yeah, sorry about that. I just spent the afternoon on the couch, either reading or playing on the Xbox, and just having a nice relaxing day. My legs have gotten even more sore as the days progressed, so that has not been very enjoyable. And because of that, I decided not to go for my run this evening. But I am going to go tomorrow. I just think I needed a full rest day. And I'm pretty sure I said that at the beginning of the week too. When I was trying to organise my week, if I wanted a full rest day or not. The answer is yes, I should have a full rest day. Anyway, I'm going to jump in the shower and wash my hair because it is not okay. And I just need to feel a little bit fresher. Despite it being my day off, my mood's just been a bit kind of off today, a bit down. For no particular reason. My period, however, is due in a few days, so that could have something to do with it. Anyway, let's wash my hair because I know that always makes me feel better. Good morning, happy Sunday. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. I've just got up, having my cereal, and then I'm going to go for a little run in a bit. Just 5Ks this morning, and see if I can do it a little bit speedier. I am working again today, but not until the afternoon, so I'll come home, have a shower, get ready, and I just want to do a bit of organising around the house. Fold and put away the washing, all that very exciting stuff. Alright, I'm all freshly showered. I'm going to chuck some dry shampoo in my hair, even though I washed it last night, because my hair is just very thin and flat without it. I've been told by all my hairdressers over the years that I have lots of hair, but it's very, very fine. And so it just gets really oily and flat very quickly. So pretty much within 12 hours of washing it, I need dry shampoo. I'm going to pop on my mascara and brow gel. I use the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions mascara and I use it in the colour Espresso. I'm also desperately due a haircut. I haven't had one since November, so it's been like 7 or 8 months, which is not helping with the overall just flatness of my hair. Then I'm using my clear brow gel. This is just a Mecca Max Brow Guru. Alright, ready for work. Just gonna pop my socks and shoes on. These compression socks are from Dr. Woof. I think it's a Melbourne-based brand, and they do amazing compression socks. They do scrubs and everything else as well. I recently got a pack of 4 for work. I've decided it's time I take slightly better care of my legs, considering how much I'm on my feet. But I'll pop a picture of the ones that I have. They're really bright and colourful and really nice and thick and comfy as well. And then lately I've been wearing my Hokas to work. Just nice and bouncy, which I love. When you're walking on hard hospital floors,